Next article from chapter number 3, kinetic theory of gases and radiation. Specific heat capacity. When the temperature of gas is increased, we observe the considerable change in volume and pressure. And because of this, the gas is having a two specific heat, namely specific heat at constant volume and specific heat at constant pressure. Mayer's relation gives an expression that connects two specific heats. So the new article is Mayer's relation. We consider 1 mole of ideal gas that is enclosed in a cylinder by light, frictionless, airtight piston. So let P, V, and T be the pressure, volume, and temperature respectively. If gas is heated at constant volume, let dT is rise in temperature, dQ1 heat supplied to the gas, dE increase in internal energy of gas. Since the volume of gas is constant, so no work is done in moving the piston. So we can write here heat supplied is equal to increase in internal energy. So heat supplied dQ1 as it is, internal energy we can write by formula of specific heat, CVdT. Now Cv is the molar specific heat of gas at constant volume. On the other hand, if the gas is heated at the same temperature and at constant pressure, now the heat supplied means dQ2 we can consider it is utilized for two purposes: to increase the internal energy as well as the work done, okay, to move the piston. So let me define some parameter. dV is the increase in volume, dt is the rise in temperature, dQ2 is the heat supplied to the gas, dE increase in internal energy. Hence we can write here heat supplied is equal to increase in internal energy plus work done. Now this heat supplied we can write Cp into dt is equal to dE plus dW. So in this formula here, Cp is the molar specific heat of gas at constant pressure. Now, but here dE is equal to Cv dt. Now let me substitute it. So we get equation Cp dt is equal to Cv dt plus dW. Also work done to move the piston, dW is equal to Pdv. Cp dt is equal to Cv dt plus Pdv. Now here we can transfer this term towards left hand side. So we can take dt common from these two. We get Cp minus Cv into dt is equal to Pdv. For 1 mole of gas, Pv is equal to RT. So we can write Pdv is equal to RdT. So instead of this Pdv, we substitute RdT. So we get this equation. Now here dt and dt get cancelled. So we get a relation Cp minus Cv is equal to R. And this is known as Mayer's relation. Now, monoatomic gases. Let me learn the application of specific heat for monoatomic, diatomic, and polyatomic gases. By law of equipartition of energy, the energy is equal to 3 by 2 because it has a 3 degree of freedom. So 3 by 2 Na kBt, or we can write RT. So this Na into kB is R. So 3 by 2 RT. So molar specific heat at constant volume is given by these formulas, dE by dt. So E is known here. We take the derivative of this, then we get molar specific heat at constant volume. So its value is 3 by 2 and A into kV. We have taken derivative with respect to T, so this T get cancelled. Now, Na into kV is R, just I told you. So this is specific heat at constant volume. But Cp minus Cv is R. So Cp is equal to R plus Cv. So here Cv is known. Okay? So we can find out Cp by using that. So Cp is equal to 3 by 2 R plus R. So here we substitute Cv plus R. Now it is 5 by 2 R. It is a specific heat at constant pressure. So we get specific heat at constant volume, constant pressure also. Hence, ratio of specific heat gamma is Cp by Cv. So let me take the ratio. Cp is this, Cv is this. RR get cancelled, this 2 get cancelled, we get 5 by 3. So this is the value of ratio of specific heat for monoatomic gas molecule. Similar manner, we can proceed for the diatomic by similar way, by law of equipartition of energy. So how much is the energy we get, internal energy? Instead of 3, the diatomic gas having a 5 degree of freedom, 5 by 2 you can see here. Okay, molar specific heat, same formula. Now we have to take this derivative with respect to T, then we get specific heat at constant volume. You can see here instead of 3, only 5 is introduced here. Now we get Cv is equal to 5 by 2 R by similar method. Now Cp is equal to the same equation we used, but Cp is equal to R plus Cv. Now we can substitute this value of Cv. So 5 by 2 R plus R, it is 7 by 2 R is Cp. Cv we get, Cp we get. We take the ratio of specific heat, Cp by Cv, and it is this R get cancelled, 2 get cancelled, this 7 and this divided by 5. 7 by 5 is the ratio of specific heat for diatomic gas. So for diatomic gas containing non-rigid vibrating molecules, internal energy per molecule is, again for diatomic only we are learning, but here a non-rigid molecule we are considering. Then internal energy is equal to 3 by 2 Na kBT. 3 translational degree of freedom, 2 rotational plus 2 vibrational degree of freedom. Okay? So 3 by 2 N kBT, 2 by 2 Na kBT, 2 by 2 Na kBT. So we get this addition is equal to 7 by 2 Na kBT. So this is R. 7 by 2 RT. So by taking derivative of this, we get specific heat at constant volume, 7 by 2 Na into kV, means 7 by 2 R. By Mayer's relation, we can find out Cp. Cp is R plus Cv. So we can add R in this. So 9 by 2 R. Ratio of specific heat is Cp by Cv is 9 by 7. So 9 by 7 we get for diatomic gas containing non-rigid vibrating molecule. Now for polyatomic gases, by law of equipartition of energy. So for polyatomic gas molecule, 3 degree of translational degrees, 3 rotational degree and 2 vibrational degree. So we are written the total energy is equal to by this formula. After adding this, we get 3 plus F. So here F is the vibrational degree of freedom. Huh? So this F is the vibrational degree of freedom. It's 2F. Okay. So we get here molar specific heat at constant volume by taking derivative of this. Now here after taking derivative, only T get cancelled, remaining term as it is here. So this is R. So 3 plus F in a bracket into R is the specific heat at constant volume. So specific heat at constant pressure we find out by Mayer's relation. It is R plus Cv. So in this we have to add R. So this is 3R and this is R. 4R plus FR we get. Now in that 4 plus FR is the Cp. Now ratio of specific heat Cp by Cv. Cp and this R get cancelled. We get 4 plus F divided by 3 plus F. This is expression for ratio of specific heat for polyatomic gas molecule. Now next article is related to radiation. Coefficient of absorption or absorptive power or absorptivity. The ratio of amount of heat absorbed to total quantity of heat incident is called as coefficient of absorption. You remember this formula, QA, amount of heat absorbed. Q, total quantity of heat incident, is called as coefficient of absorption at given temperature. Temperature is very important here. Next one is coefficient of reflection. Same definition, only here instead of absorb it is reflected. You can see here the amount of radiant energy reflected to the total energy incident is called as coefficient of reflection. Same definition, only absorbed word replaced by reflected. Formula is also similar way we can write R is equal to QR by Q. QR is the heat reflected and Q is the total heat. Okay, you can see here. Coefficient of transmission. The ratio of amount of radiant energy transmitted. Again, reflected word replaced by transmitted to the total energy incident is called as coefficient of transmission. Formula is same, QT by Q. It is represented by TR or T simply we can use. Now let I consider here Q is the total energy incident, QA heat absorbed, QR heat reflected, QT heat transmitted. Then by law of conservation of energy, total heat incident is equal to QA plus QR plus QT. Maybe some heat may be absorbed, maybe reflected, maybe transmitted, or maybe either one, maybe all absorbed, maybe all reflected, maybe all transmitted. Okay. But here I consider here, if we add all the heat absorbed, heat reflected plus heat transmitted, then we get the total heat. Dividing both the sides by Q. So we get Q by Q1. So here QA by Q, QR by Q, QT by Q. You can see these formulas here. This is A, R, T. So here we can write A, this is R, and this is T. So we get A plus R plus T is equal to 1. And this is a relation between coefficient of absorption, reflection, and transmission. Or it is also called as absorptive power or absorptivity, reflective power or reflectance, transmittance. These are the alternate names. Now next one is dithermanous substance. What is dithermanous substance? A substance through which heat radiation can pass is called as dithermanous. I mean the substance which pass the heat radiation is the dithermanous. Dithermanous body is neither a good absorber nor a good reflector. For example, glass. You know that one side of the glass heat is there, then it enters to the another side. So glass is a dithermanous substance. It passes the heat radiation. Quartz, sodium chloride, hydrogen, oxygen, air. These are the examples. Now, the next one is athermanous. Opposite to this, so they pass, dithermanous pass the heat radiation. Here, they cannot. Do not transmit, we can say that, heat radiation. Or we can say that they are opaque to thermal radiation. Opaque means do not transmit. They are the athermanous. For athermanous body, we can say that if they are not transmitting heat radiation, means this coefficient of transmission is 0. You can see here. Then we get the relation A plus R is equal to 1. In a MCQ, if the word athermanous is there, it means that given is T is equal to 0, that you remember. Then you have to use the relation A plus R is equal to 1 if they ask coefficient of absorption or reflection in a MCQ or in small problem. The examples are water, wood, iron, copper, moisture, etc. or benzene. These are the example of athermanous substance. The next article is perfectly black body. A body which absorbs entire radiation or entire radiant energy incident on it is called an ideal or perfect black body. Means 100% heat radiations are absorbed by the body, then it is called as perfectly black body. For perfectly black body, if it is absorbing 100%, then A is 1. No reflection, no transmission, they are 0. So remember, for perfectly black body, A is 1. Lamp black or platinum black that absorb nearly 97% of incident radiation, that body is considered as perfectly black body. Not a single body in the universe which absorb 100% heat radiation. But the body which is coated with lamp black absorb 97% of or 98% of heat radiation. Now, practical approach of the perfectly black body we have to learn, and it is the Ferris black body. Now you can see in a diagram, this is a Ferris black body. Now let me learn the construction of this body. So Ferris black body consists of double walled hollow sphere. You can see here, this is a double wall, two wall you can see, this is first, this is second, and hollow sphere having conical projection. You can see this is a conical projection. Diametrically opposite to aperture. This is the aperture, means the opening. Opposite to that, you can see conical projection through which radiant heat energy can enter. You can see here heat energy enter through this aperture. The space between the wall is evacuated. Between the two walls, the space is evacuated. Outer surface is silvered. The outer surface is silver or nickel polished. Inner surface coated with lamp black. You can see here a lamp black. So inside portion is coated with lamp black to absorb the more heat radiation. Now, when heat radiation enter the sphere through aperture, when it enter through aperture, due to this conical projection, it suffer multiple reflection. You can see here one reflection here, second reflection here. Okay? In every reflection, near about 97 to 90% heat radiation is absorbed. Means here 98% heat radiation absorbed, 2% reflected. Again, out of these two, 97-98% is absorbed here and remaining reflected. So within few reflections, all the radiation completely absorbed. Thus, the aperture behaves like a perfectly black body, because whatever the heat incident on this portion is absorbed by the body. So aperture is acting like a perfectly black body. Area of the body is equal to the area of aperture, that you remember. Now, similar working can be achieved using cavity radiator. You can see this is a cavity radiator. This is a cavity. When the heat radiation enter through this cavity, it is absorbed. So cavity radiators are used in many places for absorbing heat radiation. Now, next article, emission of heat radiation. In 1792, Prevost published a theory of radiation known as theory of exchange of heat. So let me learn some points, important points about this. According to this theory, all bodies at all temperature about 0 Kelvin radiate thermal energy. Means all body radiate energy. At the same time, they absorb the energy. Means not only they radiate, they absorb also simultaneously. If body radiate more than it absorb, if body start radiating more, then its temperature decreases. If body radiate less as compared to the absorption, means it absorb more, then temperature increases. When rate of absorption is same as rate of emission, means body radiate and absorb same quantity of heat, then no change in the temperature of body. Temperature of body remains constant. The amount of heat radiated by body depends on temperature, nature of the body, material of the body, as well as nature of surface area, time duration for which body radiate. Okay, on this factor it depends. Now next one is emissive power. So emissive power is quantity of heat radiated per unit area per unit time is called as emissive power. It is also called as radiant power. So you can see here R is equal to Q upon AT is the formula for emissive power. So quantity, Q means quantity of heat radiated, A means area, T means time. Quantity of heat radiated per unit area per unit time. So this area is the surface area. Dimension we can write here. Okay, dimension by substituting dimension of Q means dimension of work, dimension of area, dimension of time, we get L0 M1 T minus 1. SI unit is for Q joule, area meter square. So it is coming up meter raised to minus 2. Time second. So second raised to minus 1. or joule per second is the watt. So watt per meter square is the unit. So this W must be small w. So by mistakenly it is written capital here.